Welcome to our West Orange United FC webinar series for players. This is module part 2, and my name is Coach Lou Mignone, the Director of Coaching at West Orange United FC. I hope everybody is safe and healthy during this period of quarantine due to COVID-19, and I would like to invite everyone to join our Thursday webinars at 4 p.m. They're 30 minutes long. So Thursday, 4 p.m. webinars for players. This is being recorded for those players that are unable to attend the Thursday, 4 p.m. webinar for players. And parents are certainly welcome to join that as well. Parents may also join a 7 p.m. webinar each Tuesday evening, also through Zoom, and we look forward to interacting over this period of quarantine. Please also visit our Facebook page, the Facebook page of West Orange United FC. Follow that Facebook page for announcements about upcoming webinars, meetings, and other events. We'll begin by taking a look back. This picture is from the early 90s. I believe 1994 might have been the year. A year that the U.S. hosted a World Cup that Brazil eventually won. This is a great memory, a neat picture of a group of students from Israel that visited over the summer, and our club and community provided some soccer playing opportunities for this group. This was a training session that we did early in the morning at Conforti Field at West Orange High School. Conforti Field looks a lot differently now, and it's a neat memory. These youth that visited left with fantastic memories of their experience in West Orange with West Orange United FC, and also playing plenty of soccer during their visit. So we made a certain impression on these teenagers who are well into adulthood at this point. So we're going to take a look at the key qualities of U.S. soccer players. This includes players that are beginners, children, and goes all the way on up through adult players and even world-class players. So when we look at Luka Modric in that picture, he's the number 10 wearing the white Real Madrid uniform. What are some of the qualities that we can see in him? What are the key qualities that he possesses that makes him a world-class player? And when we had this webinar, there was some interesting feedback provided by the participants, and they related to his creativity, his ways of beating opponents 1v1, his recognizing of great passes to make to set up goals, to be a playmaker. And we look at that as a very important skill on the part of Luka Modric, his recognizing moments where he can engage with clean technical execution as one of those key qualities, and he can take initiative based upon his ability to read the game, read it and understand the game, and respond to things that he sees without being told to do so. So the 6 key qualities are listed on this slide. The 2 key qualities that we're going to focus on are key qualities 3 and 4, demonstrating focus and optimal technical abilities. That is, of course, U.S. women's national team superstar Kelly O'Hara. And as we get into this, we'll give it some thought of what is referred to by demonstrating focus and executing with optimal technical abilities. That is Jersey native Tim Howard, and he is a standout when we think of past U.S. national team goalkeepers. Tim Howard's one of the best. Played on the international level, played in Europe, and was certainly a fine representative of the world-class goalkeepers our nation has produced. So what do we believe that Tim Howard is focused upon right now? So some ideas that come to mind are he's focusing on the ball, he's focusing on the location of the ball, the proximity of that ball to the goal. That is helping him adjust his stance and his distance from the goal line. Right? He's focusing as well. He's facing the field, so has a good view of what's happening in front of him. His stance allows him to take a peek over to the right, so he sees play developing. He sees the opponent. He's tracking movement of the opponent. He is tracking also movement of his teammates as well. And he's focusing on the possibilities of what might be developing at this point. And we look at U.S. women's national team star, Crystal Dunn. And when we look at Crystal, what features can we see about Crystal in terms of her focus? What is she focused upon right now? So within this type of a very competitive environment, she's being pressured by the opponent, and she's realizing that pressure is there. She's responding by using her right foot, the inside of her right foot, to take the ball away from the opponent who's trying to sneak up on the right side of her body. Right? She's focused on that. She's also focused as well on the idea that there's an opponent to her left that's a little bit further in the distance. So in the game, in the busy game environment where things are changing every second, we need to develop that skill of being constantly focused not only on what we're seeing at that moment, but what is changing at that moment in terms of the position of opponents, our teammates, and the ball. Demonstrating focus, as we see Christian Pulisic here, he certainly is demonstrating focus there. He's not looking at the ball. He's scanning in front of him. He's recognizing perhaps decisions that he could possibly make to solve a problem in front of him within that game environment. But demonstrating focus also involves playing to win. It involves being determined to put in as much effort as possible and help your team to achieve success. That is one of the things that is completely under our control, how much effort we put in. So are we putting in effort, and are we playing to win? Are we looking to build with the ball, create chances, and score goals? And we, in training sessions, keep score in everything we do. We want to get in the mindset of playing to win and focused on our best performance each time we step onto the field. We want to be able to demonstrate bravery. So an example of that would be taking an opponent on 1v1. There's a possibility that we could lose the ball. We could be dispossessed, and it's certainly a risk, but we want to demonstrate bravery in those moments where we're confronted by an opponent and be able to go at the opponent and take that opponent on 1v1 to beat the opponent and perhaps move the ball forward, create chances, and score goals. Demonstrating focus also involves dealing with adversity. The game itself is a wonderful example of adversity. So when we step out on the field, we step out with whether it's a 7v7 model, a 9v9 model, an 11v11 model, or even a 4v4 model. We're stepping out with other people that are on our team, But there is also another team that wants to deny our ability to create chances and score goals. They want to prevent us from scoring goals. They want to stop us from building forward. They want to prevent us from moving the ball forward. So there is certainly adversity in every single game, and we want to be able to remain calm and composed as we take in information through our eyes, make decisions, and execute without any worries or fear of making a mistake. Mistakes are made, and we want to be able to just bounce back from them as a manner in which we deal with adversity. So what are some action steps we could take to develop this key quality of demonstrating focus? Well, we say the best way to address this key quality is getting plenty of opportunities to play in games. Small-sided games, 3v3, 4v4, 5v5, for instance, are excellent ways to get us into an environment with increased soccer actions. And what we mean by that, or increased soccer moments, what we mean by that is an additional amount of opportunities for us to make decisions and execute on the ball, both for defending and attacking. Also, there's additional transitional moments when the ball changes hands. Small-sided games tend to have more frequent transition when the ball changes hands, and we have to explosively change the way we play, our behavior from defending to attacking. So these are great ways to develop that ability to demonstrate focus. However, during this period of quarantine, when we can't be with our team and there's physical distancing regulations in effect, we can certainly watch high-level games on TV and take a look at how players take risks, demonstrate bravery in particularly situations where they might even be outnumbered, and they remain calm and composed and look to make effective decisions while under pressure. And based upon our observations of these high-level players within these games, we can use that information now as a springboard, so to say, for our own behaviors when we return to gameplay. So when we think about technical execution or optimal use of technique, we think of a lot of mechanics related to movement of our body. So as we look at Alex Morgan, U.S. Women's National Team star, we see some very clean movements of her body in terms of the mechanics of striking perhaps a driven ball. And we see that her toe is pointed downward. Her planting foot is alongside of the ball. And it looks like she's getting ready to strike that ball with her laces with a clean follow-through. Her arms are used for balance, right? So her planting foot is firmly planted on the ground next to the ball. And she is striking through the ball and not reaching out to the ball. And her eyes are down on the ball, paying close attention to its movement. It looks like that ball perhaps has a slight bounce to it. So she's really tracking that closely with her eyes so she could adjust the timing of her strike as well. So really important mechanics that we're taking a look at right here that make a very big difference in proper technical execution. We also look at Cristiano Ronaldo playing for Juventus in that picture in the Italian Serie A. So what factors are being displayed by Ronaldo there in terms of his optimal technical ability? We can see that he just avoided a slide tackle from an opponent. He perhaps flicked the ball at the right moment with the right timing over the opponent's sliding legs, and he's also in a very well-timed way jumping over the opponent that's sliding, avoiding that tackle. His eyes are on the ball because he's probably looking to select the proper surface of his foot and the proper surface of the ball that he wants to meet, as Alex Morgan did in the previous picture for his next touch on the ball. So executing with optimal technical abilities, as we see Leo Messi in this picture, looks like he just struck the left side of that ball with the inside of his left foot. As we could see his follow through, his strike did not stop at the ball. His strike went through the ball, and as we can see, he will land on his striking foot. So he's also using his arms for balance, and as he struck through the ball, there's a twist of his waist. That is all part of getting a spin on the ball. It looks like he's putting a spin on that ball. And we could see that he's showing comfort on the ball. He's confident in his ability to make that ball do what he wants that ball to do. He's proficient in that very moment. So at that moment, whether that ball was bouncing or rolling away from his body or towards his body or spinning, he was able to adjust the mechanics of his body to be proficient and have that ball go to the location where he wanted to play that ball on that. It looks like a sort of like a chipped or a bent ball using the inside of his foot. Optimal technical abilities breaks things down to 1v1 situations oftentimes, and players that are efficient in beating an opponent 1v1 or winning a ball while defending 1v1 with the proper body shape, the angle, and speed of approach, and being able to recognize the moments when to step in and either intercept or tackle is part of building optimal technical abilities. How can we train technique on our own? Well, technical abilities, we say, the best way to address skill development is within a game. That's where technique combines with a decision to solve a problem within the game environment. However, we can isolate technique on our own, as we see this player using a wall on his own. So this player has one ball, he's by himself, he's at a wall, and he's addressing technique on his own in the manner in which he strikes. As we see, this player is striking a driven ball at the wall, and his planting foot is landing alongside the ball. At the moment he strikes the ball will be aligned with his body. He's not reaching out for the ball. He's not reaching away from his body for the ball. The ball will be right underneath his chest. As he strikes the ball, his ankle is locked. His striking ankle is locked. His toe is pointed to the ground, and his strike will be with the laces along the center of the ball. It won't be underneath the ball. It won't be on top of the ball. It will be at the center of the ball. And his follow-through will bring his striking foot down to the ground in front of his body. He'll land on his striking foot. So we can train technique on our own using a wall. A wall is a really effective way to get a lot of repetitions. So as he strikes, that ball will hit the wall, will bounce back quickly at him, and he'll be able to also employ some practice in receiving and redirecting the ball with various surfaces of his body, whether that be the chest, the inside of the foot, the thigh, or maybe even the sole of the foot, to prepare for the next strike against the wall. So the wall is one way. We can certainly train technique on our own with dribbling, for instance. We can put down some, if we have discs, that's great. If not, we can use things like T-shirts, water bottles, sneakers, and we can create a maze that we can dribble through and quickly change direction and change pace using various surfaces of the feet. Some technical training ideas are available upon our YouTube playlist. So the West Orange United FC YouTube playlist that we put together demonstrates a number of individual technical exercises that we could do on our own anytime, but are particularly useful during this COVID-19 period where we are away from our team and our friends, and we're on our own. So those are ideas for in those videos for things like shooting, passing, different types of passing, inside of the foot, disguise pass with the outside of the foot, the laced driven ball, the chipped ball where we strike underneath the ball and have the ball leave the ground with a backspin, and also things like juggling, some receiving of the ball out of the air using different surfaces. We can certainly juggle on our own, so we can isolate our juggling to maybe one foot and then isolate it to the other foot, and then maybe use feet only, and then get the ball to our thighs and maybe thighs only, and then we can use some higher touches, the ball going higher and receiving it on the chest. So there's many different variations that we could have fun with on our own as we explore different ways of juggling, controlling the ball, and maybe even taking the ball out of the air on a dribble using the inside of our foot or the bottom of the foot or even our outside of the foot on the turn, so to say. So plenty of ways that we can train technique on our own. So please direct any questions to me on the YouTube link for this video that'll be posted in the comments section. So address any questions that you might have with me. I'd be happy to answer them. Please keep in mind that all webinars for players take place on Thursdays at 4 o'clock p.m. The Zoom webinars. Parents and players, please join us. And also, webinars for parents are each Tuesday night at 7 o'clock p.m. as well. All webinars are 30 minutes long, so we respect your time, and we want to put together as much information that is meaningful for your needs. That's the aim, in a shorter amount of time so that you can get on to other things that you may have on your schedule. So I hope that this presentation of the 2 key qualities that we mentioned, the 2 out of 6, are helpful, and we hope that this presentation was meaningful for your needs. And we will look forward to our next webinar. And please stay safe, stay healthy, and be well, everyone. Take care.